Albert Einstein wasn't born a genius. In fact, his teachers thought he was slow, and he didn't speak until age 4. But Einstein developed one 5-minute daily habit that literally rewired his brain for breakthrough thinking. A habit so simple that any 8-year-old could do it, yet so powerful it led to the theory of relativity. This wasn't meditation, journaling, or reading. It was something far more specific and far more transformative. The same thinking technique that made Einstein a genius can make you a breakthrough thinker in your business. And it takes just 5 minutes a day. Let me show you exactly what he did. Arc. Part 1. The struggling student. Most people think Einstein was born brilliant. The truth is the opposite. Young Albert Einstein struggled in school. His teachers complained he was disruptive and couldn't focus. His father worried he would never amount to anything. At age 16, Einstein failed his entrance exam to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic. He had to repeat a year just to get admitted. Even in university, professors considered him lazy and uninterested. One professor told him, "You will never amount to anything, Einstein," but something changed when Einstein turned 20. He began developing what he called thought experiments, a daily mental practice that would transform him from academic failure to the greatest mind of the 20th century. Part 2. The discovery thought experiments. Einstein's breakthrough came when he started asking himself one simple question every day: what if? But not just any what if. His famous thought experiments. Age 16. What if I could ride alongside a beam of light? What would I see? This question led to special relativity 10 years later. Age 20. What if I was in an elevator in space? How would I know if I was accelerating or in a gravitational field? This led to general relativity. Age 25. What if time and space aren't fixed? What if they can bend and stretch? This revolutionized physics forever. Einstein's daily habit. Every morning for 5 minutes, he would sit quietly and run mental experiments. He would imagine scenarios that pushed the boundaries of what seemed possible. He wasn't just thinking about physics. He was rewiring his brain to think beyond conventional limitations. Part 3. The neuroscience behind genius thinking. Modern neuroscience has revealed why Einstein's thought experiments were so powerful. What happens in your brain during thought experiments? Normal thinking uses existing neural pathways, relies on past experience and conventional logic. Thought experiment thinking forces your brain to create new neural connections, explores impossible scenarios, breaks free from limiting assumptions. The research shows thought experiments activate the brain's creative networks 400% more than normal problem solving. They strengthen connections between logical and imaginative brain regions. They literally grow new neural pathways that didn't exist before. Einstein understood something most people miss. Breakthrough thinking doesn't come from analyzing what is. It comes from imagining what could be. This is why Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, but imagination embraces the entire world." But here's the key. Einstein's thought experiments weren't random daydreaming. They followed a specific structure that anyone can learn. Part 4. The thought experiment formula. Einstein's genius wasn't mysterious. It was methodical. Every thought experiment followed the same 4-step process. Step 1. Choose a constraint to remove. Einstein would identify a rule or assumption everyone accepted as unchangeable, then mentally remove it. Example. What if time isn't constant? Step 2. Create an impossible scenario. He would imagine a situation where this constraint didn't exist and explore what would happen. Example. What if I traveled at the speed of light? Step 3. Follow the logic. Einstein would use rigorous reasoning to explore the consequences of his impossible scenario. Example. If time slows down at high speeds, then. Step 4. Find the universal principle. He would identify the deeper truth revealed by the thought experiment. Example. Space and time are connected and relative, not separate and absolute. This formula didn't just work for physics. Einstein applied it to every area of his life. Problem solving. What if the problem solved itself? Innovation. What if the opposite of conventional wisdom was true? Creativity. What if there were no rules limiting this idea? The result. A mind capable of breakthrough thinking on demand. Part 5. Business applications. Modern Einsteins. Today's most successful entrepreneurs use Einstein's thought experiment method without even knowing it. Elon Musk. What if we could reuse rockets like airplanes? Right-pointing arrow. SpaceX. Jeff Bezos. What if a bookstore had infinite shelf space? Right-pointing arrow. Amazon. Reed Hastings. What if you could watch any movie instantly? Right-pointing arrow. Netflix. Brian Chesky. What if strangers rented rooms to strangers? Right-pointing arrow. Airbnb. Each breakthrough came from questioning fundamental assumptions and imagining impossible scenarios. But you don't need to revolutionize industries to benefit from thought experiments. Business thought experiments that anyone can use. What if money was no object for our customers? What if our biggest weakness became our greatest strength? What if we could only serve customers for free? What if we had to rebuild our business in 24 hours? What if our competition disappeared tomorrow? These questions force you to think beyond current limitations and discover breakthrough solutions. The Genius Thinking Framework. Introduction. So how do you develop Einstein's genius thinking ability? How do you train your brain to have breakthrough insights on demand? I've spent 3 years studying the thinking patterns of history's greatest innovators: Einstein, Tesla, Darwin, Jobs, and modern breakthrough entrepreneurs. I've developed what I call the Genius Thinking Framework, a systematic approach for using thought experiments to solve business problems and generate breakthrough ideas. This framework has helped Marcus discover a business model that increased his revenue 500% by asking, what if customers paid us to solve their biggest problem? Lisa break through a creative block by imagining, what if I could only communicate through pictures? David solve a team conflict by thinking, what if everyone on the team was exactly like me? The framework includes the daily thought experiment ritual that takes just 5 minutes but transforms your thinking, the constraint breaking method for identifying limiting assumptions in any situation, the breakthrough question bank with 100+ thought experiments for business challenges, the implementation bridge for turning insights into real-world solutions. I'm giving you this complete framework absolutely free because I believe every entrepreneur deserves to think like a genius. Here's how to start thinking like Einstein today. First, download your free Genius Thinking Framework using the link below. Second, try your first thought experiment using the daily ritual template. It takes just 5 minutes. Third, apply the constraint breaking method to one business challenge you're facing. He developed genius thinking through a simple daily practice that anyone can learn. You have the same brain capacity as Einstein. You just need the right thinking tools. If this video resonates with you, do me a favor by subscribing right now, then like and share. Don't delay. Download your free resource now. The difference between ordinary thinking and genius thinking isn't intelligence, it's method.